This is Vargas, and I am back again with another pickup video. And just finished recording the 2 weeks worth of DVDs I picked up with Movie Freak Bazaar. And you'll probably see those more frequently depending on if he is going to go ahead and go back to selling weekly. Because of my economy, I probably won't go as crazy. I'll pick up maybe a couple of movies and pile them up as I go along. But during these quarantine times, there hasn't been any flea markets. But my wife has followed some Facebook sellers that usually sell educational toys or toys for our kids. But a stretch for 3 weeks, they started selling stuff that I bought for myself. Between my wife and me, we still bought our kids toys, a whole bunch of toys, and I would like to make a video of them talking about that, because my daughter does enjoy talking about videos, but this is just stuff that I bought for me. This is stuff for me, and this is stuff that I've accumulated for a number of months, and just wanted to share so I can storage them and just reach it, and then organize them. But I like recording videos, and if you're not interested in that, sorry, you can skip this video. But if you are, bear with me, and welcome to the party, pal. So first thing I bought, or that I remember buying, was this thing. My plan, it's a microphone stand. You use this little thing to put on a table, and then you can put your microphone for podcasts, like so, and the microphone comes out. My plan was to either use this as a microphone stand, like it is, or rig up something that I can put a camera, and when I'm building my props, I have something to sustain the camera as I'm going through the building process. So that's why I bought this one. I bought this one from a Facebook seller that my wife follows, and I was like, it was cheap, I'll pick it up. So that's a tool to try to up my game on, recording my videos. Also picked this thing, which I could either use as a functional thing or as a costume, and it's a little first aid kit pouch. It has couple of things like bandages and tape and alcohol wipes and tweezers and everything. So it's basically just a first aid kit pouch, but I could use it for a costume. Picked up these Super Nintendo inspired USB controllers. Again, bought them because they were super cheap. And I don't emulate games. I have the original consoles, but if I want to connect this to one of my consoles, my modern consoles, and I need a Super Nintendo style controller, I have two, so that was that. For Halloween, I picked up this Scuba Mask. It's actually pretty cool. It just squishes very easily. The material, it's not latex, but it kind of is. It's really weird material, but I saw it really, really cheap, and I was like, hey, this is really a really cool possible Halloween costume from Gru from the Despicable Me franchise. Also picked up this little guy. I don't think I've shared this in my social media, but it's a little scorpion. I like these little skeletons for Halloween decorations. Also these, I think I'm gonna give these to my kid, little dinosaur skeletons. Because, yes, I do have a dinosaur collection, but I'm going to give my kids into monster trucks, cars, and dinosaurs. So, I think I'm going to give these to my kid. Also found this guy, and I'm almost 100% sure that Clowny has a very similar guy than this guy. He weathered his rat skeleton, made him look really cool. But and I mentioned it when he posted it, but I've been trying to track down a similar one because this design looks a lot like the Sumatran rat monkey from Dead Alive. So yeah, I'm debating whether to do the same thing that Clowny did and weather him up a bit, or get some clay and give him a little bit of fleshy. So it's like the rotting zombie corpse of the Sumatran rat monkey, and yeah, from Dead Alive, and yeah, just saw this guy and I had to own him, and I'm really happy that I got it because it really does look like the Sumatran rat monkey. Well, I picked up this, a chainsaw, a toy chainsaw. I already have a chainsaw, but this one lights up. And these things, the one that I have, I like the sound that it makes. The one that I have, these things actually move. This one, these, if you can tell, just kind of shake. But I like the color. I like the design. It looks a little bit better than the one I have. The one that I originally have kind of does look like a toy. But this one, because that one is primed to make into a hand chainsaw. The dimensions, the color just looks better. I just have to adapt something so I can put my hand in and rock an Ash costume. This one will be more for a Leatherface costume. Has a nice handle there. It has the color. I'll just weather it a bit so it looks all nice and bloody. And I like the sound on this one better than on the other one. So yeah, the other thing is the LEDs, won't really create that scary look for Leatherface. But I bought that one 100% because I wanted to make a Leatherface costume. So yeah. Also picked up this Ironman glove. I have a gauntlet that lights up, so I need to see if I can adapt that to this, so I can have because I already have the Ironman helmet, I have the Ironman heart reactor, and I have the an Ironman gauntlet and another one that lights up. So I need to go to the home where I should be living in, get that, and see if I could just cut this off and put that thing in there so it'll light up when I do. So yeah, I think it's more likely that I'll do a Tony Stark with bits and pieces of Iron Man armor than a full Iron Man costume. That I don't see that happening. Pick this one up either as a costume or as a way to prevent him being infected by the plague. And it's this Scuba Mask. As you can see, it does have the spot where the scuba thing would go. And but I picked it up like that. You probably can't hear me through this, but I picked it up to prevent myself from being infected. I can put a I don't know how efficient this is because it's designed for scuba, so the water won't get into this part here. So I'm guessing it might work the same way. I might have to put a filter here so that contaminants don't reach me, or I can just put a face mask and then this thing on top and get added protection. So when I'm with a place with possible infection of risk of infection, I can just pop this thing in and not have to worry. Can't get sick with this thing. Or like a costume, if I want to rock like a futuristic soldier costume. It's the one thing that my wife always calls me on is I'm always buying bits and pieces of stuff because I'm thinking of building a costume out of it. And this one I bought for the reason of a costume, but also because in my head I might be totally wrong. This might provide some sort of protection against the virus. So maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. My wife got this one for me, and it's kind of like that, but it's actually a motorcycle helmet bubble dome. But this one has the thing where you can open it up, and it will also give you some protection from incoming germs. It's probably not as sealed as this one, but if I wear a mask, at least if someone sneezes at me, it won't get in my eyes and face, which is what they suggest you try to avoid. But also, I could make this into a costume, like a spaceman costume, because it has a nice bubble shape to it. So again, my wife got it for me, considering the plague. If you know what, since I go to work and stuff, so appreciate that. Also, got these will definitely might go to my kid, but they're Mario shades. Obviously, not designed for my. I'm a short guy, so stuff designed for kids actually surprisingly fit me kind of well, which is both cool and disappointing. So these don't. I mean, yeah, they're designed for kids, and I already own a Link pair of shades, so why not a Mario one? Yeah, that whole thing that you have to mature when you're older does not apply with me. I think I'm gonna have to make this into a two-parter because I do have a couple of stuff to talk about. Pick these up. They're swimming shades, swimming goggles, but I picked them up because they are steampunk-looking shades. I am debating whether or not to, weather these two, but I like the look of it. I like how they look. The spiral one and the clock kind of thing. I could probably either paint or glue little clock hands so it looks a little bit extra gnarly. But I think they look pretty cool. Very steampunkish. I could probably weather this a bit more so it looks a little bit more steampunkish. And I picked these also. They're swimming goggles, but I definitely picked these up for costume purposes, and supposedly they're UV, so they'll protect me against the sun. But I like how these look, because they look like aviator goggles. Also, might take away the yellowish, might paint it a different color, but they're surprisingly, again, they're swimming goggles, so they provide protection to my eyes. Nothing's getting into my eyes with this thing, and I can see very well. So yeah, I could probably I could probably combine these glasses or the steampunk glasses with this thing and a face mask, and I'm probably safe from the plague. Probably not. Probably will. But if nothing else, get some really good section there. I can rock these as a costume for aviator looking shade. So again, always looking for costume props. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to cut this into two parts. Sorry guys, so stay tuned for part 2 of the stuff that I picked up for costuming. Bye guys.